Say you settle down at the beach and see this perfect scenery and cannot wait to start painting it. But wait, there are two ways to doing sketch. One is just jump right into it without too much of organize. Simply record it down. The other one is to do some small studies with the value composition first. This video is to share with you how I do my small study. Look for and recognize three types of line in the scenes: horizontal line, vertical line, and diagonal line. Remember, those three types of line has a different effect and feeling to your painting. Horizontal line suggests the peace and sense of space. Vertical line suggests strength and directions. Diagonal line suggests action and direct the viewer's eyes. First, decide your format, be horizontal or vertical. Second, decide where is your horizon. Avoid half sky and half ocean. I use cross line to help me find my center point. Then I place a horizon either above or below the center line. Third, look for the 5 large shapes. In the background, we see the sky and the hill further away. In the middle ground has the ocean and the hills. The grass and the plain in the foreground. And how you started it is from a larger shape to the small shape. So I can see this is massive of shape right there. And here's is another one, the mountain. And then you have another shape right here. And then this right here gonna be the foreground. So I kind of separate them out like a big chunk of it. I then add in the small shapes of palm trees, rocks in the ocean, and the plants in the foreground. Decide which palm tree and how many palm trees you would like in your sketch. It is not necessary to sketch all of them. I decide to have 3 tall palm trees in the middle ground. Our number usually is a better number to work with in the composition. Squint your eyes to separate the light from dark. You then will make a 2-value statement, light and dark. But the dark should be around the scale of 4, not scale of 7 or 8. You then split the dark to darkest. So you will have 3-value scale of light, gray, and dark. Watch out for the pencil stroke. It should be even and consistent, not scribbling and textury. Now you have 2-value statements in your sketch. The next step is to look for the darkest area and add it in. From the light area, you can also split it to light and light gray. Now we are ready to do watercolor based on the thumbnail study. Lightly redraw your composition, the 5 major shapes first, and a small shape. One of the focal points is the two people in the middle ground looking at the ocean wave. Wet the paper with the clean water. Make sure you cover it thoroughly. Started with tea-like blue. You can mix the ultramarine blue and celerium blue on the first layer. Then add the ultramarine blue only on the top because the sky on the top is closer to us and appears to be warmer and darker. For the lower part of the sky, I added Bavarian green with lemon yellow. Because the paper is still wet, it is safe to going back and forth to adding more color to you until you are happy about it. But when the paper becomes damp, make sure you don't touch it. Dip the paper towel or rag into the water and squeeze out the water so your towel is damp. Lift the cloud with the damp towel while the paper is still wet. While waiting for the sky to be dry, I started working on the first layer of ocean and the hills in the middle ground and work toward to foreground. Do notice that my middle ground value is darker than the background, and my foreground value is also darker than the middle ground. The foreground green is brighter than the green in the middle ground. Adding the complementary color will dull the color down. So to make the green duller, I use the crimson red or camaraderie red. After my first layer is finished, I left the two figures in the middle ground with the damp paper towel while the paper is still wet. Wait until the first layer is completely dry. I use the blow dryer to fast the drying process. But if you are at the beach, I think the paper will dry quick enough. You can now start the two value statement. Squint your eyes so you can see the general dark shape easier. Using milk-like watercolor for the second layer. And repeat the same methods we used in the first layer. Only you don't need to add so much water on the second layer now. It is almost impossible for me to explain it to you how I do watercolor, but I hope giving you some guideline will help you continue with your own watercolor journey. Start with large area and move toward to small area. Start with wet on wet, wet on damp. Loose and more water is always safe. Then jump right into the detail. Be the observer. Watch how watercolor behave on the paper. Work with what is in front of you rather than force it to happen. For example, if you accidentally add too much water or not enough water, aware when is the right timing to fix the problem. Don't keep adding more watercolor to fix it. Remember, you can always lift the color when it's still wet, so you don't need to panic if your decision making is not the best at the time. Be patient with yourself. It takes 100 not so good watercolor to become good. Have fun and cherish what you already have learned and accomplished. Recognize what you have and not what you are lacking. When the first layer of the sky is completely dry and it is ready for me to work with the cloud, I wet the cloud with the clear water first and touch a little bit of the dull blue on the bottom of the cloud. Repeat a couple times until you are happy with the result.